we live in a multi-party democracy, and that is contestation of ideas. We came with the idea of establishing a good movement so that we can build a good country and mobilize good people. And we made that clarion call to South Africans to join us. Good people are not racist. They want to see our country succeed. And I must say South Africans have not disappointed us, because there are good people all over our country. And we are very humbled and we're very grateful for every single vote. Because every vote that we receive, or any seats that we're going to get, it's a victory for us, because we've just started 5 months ago.
Pat, it would be remiss of me not to mention the fact that you're contesting in national elections. As we stand right now, good is just under 45,000, like I said, but 44,000 of those votes come from the Western Cape. An area 44,000 actually. I had a look at the board earlier,
today,
and I'm like, that's where you were expected to perform well. Looking
so
at
what's
the situation,
wrong with that?
No, just looking at the
vote
situation.
Is a vote in Western Cape, in case it is. A vote is the vote.
Auntie Pat, should you have run for the other 8 provinces? That's the question.
No. You see, I don't know why it's an issue, because a vote counts the same anywhere in the country. I was just explaining to you, it's not about size even. It's not about never been intimidated by size in any case. It's about the idea. It's about the quality of the idea that we are testing. And it found resonance with people across the country in the 4 months that we've been able to build this party. We now have 2 years in which to continue promoting this idea of a good movement to build a good country across the country. And I'm sure we will be able to attract more people supporting us. But the Western Cape, I was born there. People know me. I've been the mayor for 7 years. And yes.
We've seen a real interesting mix around the Western Cape in particular. And I would like for us to focus on, I mean, we saw quite a momentum building towards the last 2 weeks before the elections. The ACDP also increased its voter share in the Western Cape. Why was the DA such prime for the taking?
Well, I think we underestimate the intelligence of voters. Because voters, they might be suffering a lot, they might be living under difficult, but they're not stupid. And people move. If they feel unhappy with the political party, they move. I think you've seen that in the Western Cape more than any other province. And if you go back and you look at the history of the Western Cape since 1994, how governments have changed over the time. So people are more stuck onto what are the issues that's affecting them directly. And so we will wait for the end of the day. It looked like that the Democratic Alliance is going to have an outright majority, and good luck to them.
Do you plan on being a nuisance in some of what you have called minority view of a bigger Western Cape problem, if you will?
No. I just told you now. I'm not intimidated by anyone. Any government, whether it's the whole parliament or a whole legislature, to me what's important is I stand by the truth. And I will always speak the truth. And I will always take on anyone that's trying to mess up my country.
Two questions, Auntie Pat. One, voter fraud, voter irregularity from machines to the, quarantining votes to IEC officials who've been probably derelict with regards to their duties. What are you raising as the good party inside the party liaison committee?
Well, yesterday in the Western Cape, 10 o'clock last night, we got a briefing from the chairperson of the IEC about possible vote rigging, where people voted more than once. And the IEC committed themselves to investigate those incidents, and they will do so before they're going to declare the results. So we support the investigation like all other parties has called for. Now today the IEC has committed itself to doing an audit of the results, which we also support. But then we need to look at the outcome. You know, there are certain trends developing on those boards now. If these concerns and if these problems will have a material impact on the actual outcome of the results, then we all have to be concerned a lot. But that still need to be investigated.
Auntie Pat, such voter irregularity, voter fraud, double voting, all of those things have a negative implication on smaller parties mostly, and also on our democracy. What are you hoping you will see come 2021 when we head to the polls again, this time in the local government elections? What kind of changes are you hoping you will see into the system?
Yeah, no election can be perfect. I've got faith in the IEC that will conduct the investigation, come to a conclusion, and share the outcome with the political parties, and then we'll make a judgment call there. But I think since 1994, the IEC has performed an incredible task.
I asked your former advocate, Advocate Dalimpofu, who I just spoke to not too long ago.
Yes.
I said to him that I've seen you guys get along, going to court, even sometimes at Mama Winnie's funeral.
Yes.
Is there a chance that you could look into some sort of a coalition, at least in the Western Cape?
No, definitely not. You know what, we didn't get into the elections thinking of who are we going to get in bed with after the elections. We certainly put our best as 4 months old. We certainly try and garner as many votes as we can. We said that when and if the need arises after the elections, that as the law prescribes, you need to put a government together 50% plus one, then we will talk to political parties. So that's what we've committed ourselves to.
I'm sorry this seems harsh, but did you get into the Gauteng manifesto game a little late into the campaign season, if you will? Should you have spent more time here?
Well, you know, I mean, it was just not me alone. I have garnered.
Very much the brand.
Now, I know I'm the brand. There's the Patricia de Lille brand and there's the good brand, and we always brought the two together. Now, we're always conscious about that. But we've also built new leaders. You know, our premier candidate here is also a very seasoned politician. And I'm very happy with his performance. He's very young. But there's great potential. So we will just continue to build after these elections.
After all the tallying has been done, after all the back and forth about disputes and complaints about the results have been ironed out, what would please you as a favorable outcome for your first ever national election? Do you have a target in mind?
No, we don't have a target in mind, because every vote and every seat will be a victory for us. And we will be happy with the outcome, whichever way it goes.